Bukayo Saka nearing his return. That's what Mikel Arteta is going ahead obviously tell us about the player. And you know to it that Liverpool went ahead obviously get knocked out by PSG yesterday night. And we obviously going to be getting in what Enrique had to say about this result. And the player himself known as Donnarumma, who went ahead obviously save 2 penalties into that beautiful game of football that was played at the Anfield. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name, and hope you guys are really having fun wherever you are. And this is the Rokani Media Football. It's a Wednesday in my country, and I know most of the countries and the people watching from different countries, you are now in Wednesday, but our time zones are really different. The Muslims, how is the holy month of Ramadan taking you? And for the Christians, how is the Lent period taking you? Because the Christians and Muslims are all fasting almost at the same time. Though the Muslims will obviously first get out of it and they'll be celebrating Eid, and I think 2 weeks later, I think the Christians will obviously be celebrating Easter in there. Now, Bukayo Saka has been one of the big pieces missing to the jigsaw of Arsenal, and I've already told you that him and Martinelli were close to returning, and I told you that Martinelli was really close, and he saw to it that over the weekend when Man United was playing against a team called Arsenal at Old Trafford. Martinelli traveled with the squad of Arsenal. He came in through around the 60th minute or the hour mark to obviously do the needful and help the club of Arsenal, but they didn't obviously collect the 3 points at Old Trafford. So he's back, and when I was doing the match preview yesterday, I told you that the manager told us that the player is back in full swing in there, and he's ready to see to it that he really takes it to the next level, that he is the player known as Martinelli. Now, as Martinelli returns, there is also another player that is close to return, and that player goes by the names of Bukayo Saka. And what has the manager of Arsenal, known as Mikel Arteta, have to say about the return of Bukayo Saka? And this time around, he has been more spot on. He said, after the international break, let's see where he is. He feels really good. He's really willing. We are positive that he will be back within a few weeks. Now, the manager is saying the player is returning after the international break. That's what we're obviously getting in through from the side of Mikel Arteta. And it said that before they obviously go to the international break, Saka is obviously going to be training with the first team of Arsenal. And all of the time you saw him in Dubai, when Arsenal went to Dubai for the warm weather training, he was never at any one point training with the first team. And all the time he has been training with he has been training alone to see, obviously finds himself in a position of really getting himself fit to obviously tick all the boxes. But right now he has come up and obviously put in a very beautiful shift in there as a player, and is willing to obviously come and really play. Now, the return of Bukayo Saka means a lot to the club of Arsenal, and it means a lot to the side of Bukayo Saka himself. Now, we all agreed that the Premier League is really out of reach of Arsenal, and Liverpool, having gone ahead to be knocked out by the side of PSG, they are left, I think, in only one tournament, and that is the Premier League, meaning they're obviously going to be playing one game per week. They need 5 wins, of which they're going to get those 5 wins. I tell you, they're going to get those 5 wins in a nick of time, and I think in the next 5-6 games, Liverpool will be crowned the champions of the Premier League. And now, Arsenal's only hope is to lift the Champions League, and they really have that chance, provided Saka comes in through and he will do the needful. Now, when you look at the Champions League, because for Arsenal, as per the permutations, Arsenal is already through to the next round, right? Now, if Arsenal are through to the next round, they need to know who they're obviously going to be facing today. You know, they need to know who they're obviously going to be facing next on the, I think it's going to be around the 8th and 9th of April today. And that is obviously going to be happening between Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid. The winner who knocks the other will obviously be facing the club of Arsenal in there. So Arsenal, as it stands, if Saka is back, because he's obviously going to be back after the international break. The international break will obviously start on the 17th of March and it will end on the 31st of March, meaning that he will have a chance to play on the 1st, that is Saka against Fulham, and then on the 5th when they're playing against Everton. Now, these two games will serve as a very good example for the player to see it obviously comes up to put in a very beautiful shift all together as a player in there, meaning that he can use these two games to obviously get back his match fitness back, because we know the player will come back when he's fit, but there is a difference between being match fit and being fit as a person, because match fitness, that means you've gonna have to obviously adapt to the match situations that you are really in or exposed into against other opponents in there for you. So that is Bukayo Saka for you, and he's really having some huge boost. So when he returns and obviously plays for Arsenal in the quarterfinals, and he acts that killing spark into the games, you might see Arsenal winning the Champions League. That is it. You might see them winning the Champions League as a club of Arsenal. So when he wins the Champions League, I tell you, he'll have a very huge chance to really win the Ballon d'Or. I tell you. And I've already told you that Saka has a chance to win the Ballon d'Or. Not so if at all Arsenal wins the Champions League and the Premier League. But for the Premier League, the person that would have gone to obviously fail him is none other than Mohamed Salah. But Salah is out of the Champions League, and I tell you, if there is no international tournament, a player that wins the Ballon d'Or has to be part of the team that won the Champions League, and that's what Saka should do. If he wins the Champions League, all will go on as well, because Barcelona, even if they win the league, they cannot really flaunt the number one podium stepper, right? You know, even if it's Madrid or Bayern Munich or what, provided Arsenal wins the Champions League, I think the Ballon d'Or will go to Saka, depending on how he obviously adapts to the game. So, secondly, Arsenal itself, with Saka available, they are really a different threat, meaning that they obviously have another threat up front, onto their pitch, and it will help the likes of Ethan Nwaneri to rest a little bit and obviously come off the bench sometimes, knowing that at least he's not playing on pressure as a player for the club of Arsenal. So Saka returning, or he's nearing his return, as confirmed to us by Mikel Arteta, and we never know when Arsenal is playing the club of when Arsenal is playing the club of Chelsea, you never know, we might really get in some shocking news, but expect him on the 1st of April. That's when he's obviously going to be returning to represent the club of Arsenal when they are playing a club known as Fulham at the Emirates Stadium. That's when Arsenal is expecting him to return. So I think that's really a very huge injury boost for Bukayo Saka. Then Enrique, after knocking out Liverpool, he had the following message to the fans of Liverpool and PSG. He said, this is just the beginning. Our mentality is to be better. We showed our strong personality, our character, and we will play our brand of football, no matter what pitch we're on. I'm very happy and don't know what to say. Proud of this great team. One of the things I've gone ahead obviously love about the manager, he's like, we will play our game. He says that they will play their game. That is the most important bit of it all. That most people are really reactionary to the game they're obviously going to play. With PSG losing out at home, they would have gone ahead to say, all right, let's get to the side of Anfield and at least we'll sit back and not really play our game. But they came to Anfield and they played like how they played back at their home in Paris, and they ended up knocking out Liverpool by 1-0. That is it, and the manager is like, I'm hesitant, we obviously gonna be doing the needful, and they are through, and we'll be getting to know who they obviously gonna be facing, because for Bayern Munich, it's confirmed they are gonna be playing Inter Milan. Now, I think they are waiting between the win, I think, of, is it Borussia Dortmund and Lille? I think that's where they'll obviously get to know who they're obviously going to be playing in there. So that is it for now. And let's wait and see how things are obviously going to be really panning out in there. For Donnarumma, the goalkeeper of PSG that saved 2 penalties, has come up and obviously said the following. I got a lot of criticisms after the first leg from some journalists in France, but they don't even know what it means to be a goalkeeper. I keep smiling, I keep working hard for PSG. I'm so happy tonight. Obviously, there was a narrative being spread that Donnarumma was the reason as to why the side of PSG really looked bad and they lost that game of football. But he came up and obviously proved everyone wrong. That's why I always tell people that don't argue with anyone who wants to put you behind. Don't at any point. All what you have to do is simple. Just continue to do the right things. And the moment you continue to do the right things, all will play into your place. So that is Donnarumma for you. He single-handedly took PSG to the next round. Even in the 120 minutes that we have played before they went to penalties, he was really integral into making certain saves, because Salah had like a brace of chances, or a hat-trick of chances. You can talk about Curtis Jones, Virgil van Dijk, Diego Jota, Diaz. And the fact is, PSG just was the best team on the day, and they deserve to obviously go through. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. Your thoughts on Bukayo Saka return date named, what do you make about it? And that is a very huge injury boost for the club of Arsenal. So guys, I sign out for now. See you later. What do you think about Enrique and Donnarumma knocking out Liverpool from the Champions League? I'm obviously going to be bringing you more stories of the likes of Virgil van Dijk after being knocked out, and they've all admitted that indeed PSG is the best side they've played this season. That has obviously gone ahead to bring them the game, and they're like, all right, they are really better than us. Way out.